Hey church family, Pastor Jon and I wanted to put out a quick video just to really bring some things to your attention now that the announcement's been made that we are going to suspend our public worship gatherings for a couple weeks. So before we get started, Pastor Jon wanted to open us up with a quick devotional thought.
This morning, just in my own time in the Word, this passage kind of came to the forefront, and I felt like that it was some great direction for us as we start looking into this season of doing things differently over the next few weeks. So I'm just going to read a few verses from 1 Corinthians chapter 2, and hopefully you'll see the connection to where we are. 1 Corinthians chapter 2, verse 2, and some others. For I determined not to know anything among you except Jesus Christ and Him crucified. Your faith should not be in the wisdom of men, but in the power of God. But as it is written, eye has not seen, nor ear heard, nor have entered into the heart of man the things which God has prepared for those who love Him. But God has revealed them to us through His Spirit. For the Spirit searches all things, yes, the deep things of God. Even so, no one knows the things of God except the Spirit of God. Now we have received not the spirit of the world, but the Spirit who is from God, that we might know the things that have been freely given to us by God. But the natural man does not receive the things of the Spirit of God, for they're foolishness to him, nor can he know them because they are spiritually discerned. But we have the mind of Christ. I just want to encourage you that as we look into these next few weeks, that we are careful to first and foremost seek the Word. And I say the Word, both the written Word, but the capital W, the living Word. As we come into this, that the easy thing is to get up and open up your phone and look at the latest headlines on the virus, or to turn on the television and see what the latest news media is saying. But I think that it's imperative for us to first and foremost come to God and submit our thinking and our feeling and our decisions to the Word of God, and to let the Spirit lead us as we go through our day, making decisions. And even how we filter the information that we get from the world. And so as we even talk about today the things that we're going to be attempting to do as a church family, we're submitting the Spirit. We're just asking Him to lead and make specific plans for us and help us to walk in them, and to, as a church, grow closer to Him, and as strangely as it might seem, even closer to each other, because we're walking out these days.
So with that being said, we wanted to get out at least 4 things to you that we think will help to influence us toward health as a whole church during this time of isolation, where we're not having in-person gatherings together. And so I said 4, but actually this one goes before them. Please continue to pray for Pastor Brad. He's continuing to go through treatments. He's got one more treatment on Friday, and then he'll come home. So please do not fail to pray for him. But here are 4 other things. Number 1, please set aside a specific time for worship on Sunday morning. We don't want to leave this up to chance. Don't say at some point I'll watch a worship video. Set a specific time. Here's what we're committed to do: is we are going to be recording. Pastor Jon is going to be recording some worship songs. And then we're going to record a sermon, and those will be uploaded to our media outlets by 9:30 a.m. on Sunday morning. So that looks like Facebook, our YouTube channel, our church website will all have that video uploaded to it. We'll also try to send out a church-wide email with a link. If you know somebody that's going to have a hard time joining us online, maybe you could make a call to them and kind of explain to them how easy it would be for them to join us online. Number 2, please, we have to work hard to keep in contact with one another. I know one of my greatest fears that through this time of kind of social distancing is that I'm going to miss out on those relationships that I count on for my spiritual health and vitality. You know, we grow in community. It's part of what makes it so awesome, us gathering together every week, is we have those relationships in our lives. And I'm afraid that I'm going to miss out on them. So we have to work hard as the church to communicate with one another. So phone calls, texts, emails, maybe even write cards, have a conversation with your neighbor while keeping distance, but let's keep in close contact with one another. What we're trying to do, and we've been working really hard and will continue to, is we're really trying to update and upgrade our communication systems at church. So we've been communicating through email. If you've not gotten an email from the church within the past couple days, we probably need an updated contact for you. And so if you can call the church office, we're going to remain open Monday through Thursday. And so call the church office and give us your updated email address, or send an email right now to Kevin, Kevin, at fbcsparta.org, and give me your updated contact information, phone number, cell phone number, and email, and we'll make sure to get it in our system. So we're communicating through email, we're communicating on Facebook. We're also working on right now getting a voicemail system set up, kind of like the White County School System has, where we can record a voicemail and it will make electronic calls to everybody's phone. And so that is in the works as well. But let's please give us your updated contact information, but let's be proactive about keeping in contact with one another. Number 3, continue to give regularly. We are talking about tithes and offerings. Services are suspended. That's a very unique thing in the life of our church. I've never experienced this. Maybe you have not either. But we're really missing out on our public worship gathering, and that's really where we take up our offering. And so if we could, for the next 2 weeks, just really continue to give maybe above and beyond even what's comfortable. Ways that you can give are, probably the best way is just to mail your tithe check into the church. Our offices will be open. We don't want large crowds gathering here, but you can come in and drop off a check. And then we're also working on online giving. We hope in the next couple weeks to have online giving available on our website and also through an app that we'll be letting you know more about. But let's continue to give regularly, as our ministries are going to look different, but they are continuing on. And then last, but certainly not least, is church, we have to be creative and proactive about meeting needs and sharing the gospel with people. We're going to have to figure out how to do this in this time of isolation. So look for opportunities to be the hands and feet of Jesus. If you know somebody that has a need, try to meet that need the best you can. And if you need help, that there's a need of, for instance, a senior adult in our congregation, and you don't know how to meet that need, call the church office. And we don't have the solution, but you better believe that we will be working hand in hand with you, or get our missions committee or whoever we can together to put our brains together to come up with creative solutions to meet needs, because the gospel needs to keep going forth through us. We don't know how long this is going to last, but these days of isolation will end, and we have to continue being the church. It's a time for us to continue to walk faithfully to God, bolster our devotion life, increase our family worship, and think creatively about how to meet the needs of other people. Church, we love you, and it grieves our heart that we won't be able to gather with you Sunday, but we sure do hope that you will gather with us online. All right, love you. God bless.
See you Sunday.